Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mike. I am the American Analyst, and today we are going to be discussing the two big news stories for today. Well, I suppose now it's actually three. If you like what I do, please be sure to subscribe to me here on YouTube and follow me on Twitter and Minds. And make sure you hit that bell notification so you can get updates every single time I upload. Now, let's get into it. Okay, so firstly, the breaking news, as I'm recording this at roughly 7 p.m. Central, the breaking news, Andrew Yang has officially 100% dropped out of the 2020 presidential race. I disagree with Andrew Yang on on economic policy. We disagree on almost everything, I would say. But he's definitely 100% a person with integrity. And that is the main thing that I'm concerned about, particularly with politicians. If you act in a genuine way, I will give you a fair shake. I will have an open mind, and I'll say, look, I'm not the smartest person in the world. Because I'm not. 100% I'm not. I'm willing to have my mind changed. And Andrew Yang was one of those people. Very honest person. For those of you who don't know a lot about him, even though it's kind of irrelevant now, definitely check out his podcast on the Joe Rogan Show. Excellent 2 hours of entertainment. They talk about automation, the problems with the future, Andrew Yang's proposals, why he ran, past tense, for president. Again, I think the race is going to miss him. The race is going to miss the rational voice of Andrew Yang 100%. And all I have to say is hopefully we see either more of himself in the future or his followers, the Yang Gang. I think that he'll probably campaign for somebody. He'll endorse somebody at some point. Whether or not that helps that candidate, who knows? But Andrew Yang, it seems like he's, and these results are live. I haven't really broken these down that you're seeing on your screen, So, I'm assuming that, wow, I can't even see him on here. Maybe I missed him. There he is. All right, 2.8%. So, he's smarter. He's willing to go out with dignity, unlike some of these other candidates. Like, whatever. Who is this person? Whatever. Okay, nobody cares about this. So Michael Bennett again, whatever. Jesus. So apologies for the religious folks out there. Tulsi, again, another person that I probably agree with her mostly on certain domestic issues, but certainly foreign policy, we're gonna have some strong disagreements. Particularly, one interesting thing with my views on Tulsi is that she was an officer. I was not. I was a soldier. I was enlisted. So that's very interesting. That's very interesting how our points of view differ on certain things. Okay. So now let's get into the real meat and potatoes, as they say. Amy was winning for a little bit. She was. It's important to note. Here's the thing. I'm not predicting anything because I was way off. Last time I sucked. I was so bad in my predictions last time. So I'm not going to do that this time. Maybe if I start to feel more confident again in the next one, maybe I will. I doubt it. So now. Hopefully you saw that. It just updated. 12% reporting. And Bernie's just keeps pulling away. I saw right before I recorded, he was at 28.1. Now you can see he's at 28.3. So he's pulling away. I think he's going to win this one, Although I just said 5 seconds ago I wasn't going to predict. I think he's going to win. Who knows? I certainly don't. This is the biggest news. By far, Biden's done. He's done. He's 100% out. There's no other way to put it. Drop out, Joe Biden. Just drop out. You're taking time away from people who, actually have a chance. Just drop out. Biden certainly had many long and distinguished years of service to the United States. I think we can all appreciate that. That being said, he's too old. I'm sorry, I said it. I was right about that last time. He's too old. That was the one thing I was probably right about. That and Michael Bennett. Drop out, dude. You're done. This is the other big news from today. More Chicago-based news. First, let me say this. This was pretty funny. So I was looking for various stories. Okay, I'll go to that in a bit, because let me give some context for people who don't know. Jussie Smollett was just indicted on 6 counts of disorderly conduct, of lying to the Chicago Police Department. They're saying that he had willingly... Lying is true, but it's a bit of a simplification. They're saying that he willingly filed false police reports. So he knew what he was saying in the police reports was not true, and he filed it anyway. So that's what they're charging him with. And you know what? I mean, this guy did it. I believe that he did it. Maybe I'll after this I'll read through the entire indictment. But here's the interesting thing about the presumption of innocence. I think that if you have to hold true to principles, if you think that you believe, if you believe that someone is innocent until proven guilty, then you have to give him his day in court. But then I also thought about it at the same time, that what do you do in cases where there has yet to be a trial, but 90% of the evidence points towards this person doing it? The first thing that popped into my head was Jussie Smollett and Jeffrey Epstein. That, look. Is there any? There is doubt. That's the point I'm trying to say. It's more of a thought exercise for people out there. What's the right thing to do in this situation? I don't know. He definitely deserves a day in court. That is not in dispute. But how do we relate in the public discourse is what I'm trying to get at. Do we assume that we know because that's the most likely thing? Is that the assumption we go off of, or do we pretend, because that's what it would be. That's what makes it so difficult. Do we pretend that we don't know because he hasn't had his day in court yet? Do we wait, in this case, a year to comment about it? Is that what we should have done? It's tough. So, for those of you who don't remember, there was an alleged hate crime against this actor, Jussie Smollett. I do not believe it happened. I think he made the whole thing up. I want to be very careful about that. I believe and I think. I don't know. I don't know what happened. But, all accounts are, like I said, 90. That was not an exaggeration. And if anything, that may be an understatement. 90% of the evidence points to this guy made the whole thing up. And also, there is a bigger problem. The bigger problem is Kim Foxx and corruption within the city of Chicago. That's the bigger problem. For those of you who don't know, Kim Foxx is the Chicago state attorney, and she, quote unquote, recused herself from the trial because she has connections to Mr. Smollett. Kim Foxx, being Kim Foxx, and Jussie had volunteered for the Obama campaign, and both had connections to the former president. And I'm definitely not saying that either Barack or Michelle were involved in this in any way. I do not believe that they are. I just want to make that clear. But it's clear they had some kind of connection, or she would not have recused herself. But here's the catch. She recused herself, but she didn't appoint a special prosecutor to the case. She just stayed in the office. Like, imagine if you have conflict of interest at work, and you say, okay, I'm not working on this because it's conflict of interest, but then you don't leave. Are your employees just going to not see what you think about it? Are they just, like, oh, she's here doing literally everything but this one case, but don't ask her. Don't ask her opinion on it. No. And that's the other thing. It is common practice to hire a special prosecutor if you recuse yourself. She did not do that. She just kind of let it float out into the ether. And of course, he was sentenced. Basically, he was sentenced to time already served, but he didn't really. He was sentenced, which is even more ridiculous. He was sentenced to community service already done. It's not even an exaggeration. That's what happened. Community service, like he's done community service in the past. Yeah, we all have. Whatever. Work one day at Habitat for Humanity. It's like, yeah, you don't need to go to jail. You're fine. But then this brings me up to, this was just funny. We're gonna end it on a light note. I was searching through Twitter and looking at stories for this. This is a writer for the I think it's the Philadelphia Inquirer. I feel so bad for her. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Like, look at this. She talks about R. Kelly, whatever. But she says, I am not Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry this happened to you. I genuinely hope that if by some off chance, Kim, you see this video, I genuinely hope that you are not getting any additional hate today. I really do. But that's just a hilarious situation. And look at her first reply. Wrong Kim Foxx. I just thought that was so funny. Anyway, I think that a illustrious leader of the Yang Gang, I salute you. Jussie Smollett, I hope you get what's coming to you, man. Whatever that may be. I mean that in the literal sense. If he's innocent, I hope there's evidence. I really do. I hope there's evidence that comes out and say, hey, you were all wrong. Like, this hate crime actually did happen to me. We'll see. I'm going to leave it there. My name is Mike. I am the American Analyst. Please subscribe to me here on YouTube, hit that bell notification button, and follow me on Twitter and Minds. Have a good evening. Thank you all for listening. This is Mike, the American Analyst. Follow me on Twitter, Minds, and subscribe to me on YouTube. And be sure to hit that bell notification. I'll be coming out with new videos every single day for your viewing enjoyment. Have a good one.